with yet another DJs BrewTube beer review. Well, you see I got me a canned beer in front of me, but this time, no, it's not another hoppy beer, though I do love my hoppy canned beers. And you know what? I also love me my German style beers. As you can see, I've been drinking up on them lately, getting back to my craft beer roots, as it were. So today, I'm going to have a beer from Anderson Valley Brewing Company out of Boonsville, California, US of A. Yay! And I'm going to have a German-style beer from them. That's right. I'm going to have a Gose that they've made recently. Their new seasonal. And what new seasonal is that? It's the Kimmie The Yink and the Holy Gose. Now, I imagine that name is probably a play on Father, Son, and the Holy Ghost, maybe. I don't know. Anderson Valley puts all that crazy kind of shit on their beer all the time. I mean, their beer says Ball Hornin since, what, 1987? Yeah, whatever. Who cares about that? I care about what the beer tastes like. Anyways, this beer clocks in at 4.2% ABV, and it's between 4 and 15 IBUs. Excuse me, stylistically. Now, in this beer, like all Goses, they use German ale yeast and lactobacillus because it's a partial sour mash. For adjuncts, they're using salt and coriander. Hey, that's sort of like the typical usual suspects, isn't it? Now, for hops, they're using Bravo. I don't know if that's traditional, but they're using Bravo hops. For malt, they're using Pale Two-Row, and they're using Cara Crystal wheat. So, you know what? That's all the information I got on this beer. The next thing I want to do, I want to put it in the glass and tell you what's up with the aroma, the taste, and all that good stuff. And, wait for it, we have a can. Yeah, I love that sound. Ooh, nice and frothy, foamy all the way up to the top of this big mouth can. Ooh, that's a light colored one. Excuse me, we'll pour this, we'll get a little bit of head on it. See what we got going on. Alright. We've got our 12-ounce can here. There is no date on this beer. I don't know why. A big brewery like Anderson Valley can definitely afford a inkjet coater to put a date on the bottom of the can, but it is a seasonal, so we'll let that one pass now, won't we? I guess so. Anyways, let's get an appearance on this. Okay, it's a slightly hazy, light yellow color, almost macro beer looking. There's plenty of active bubbles coming up from the bottom. We got about a half finger of crystal white head. You know what? The head didn't last long on that Gose either. Maybe it's the salt that's in there. But you swirl it, I can agitate the head back up. I can see there might be some clingy glass lacing on there. No alcohol lakes to speak of or expected at 4.2% ABV. But it's a real pale, slightly hazy, looks like maybe like a light IPA or a light pale ale, that kind of thing. But that's the appearance. Let's get the aroma now. It looks tasty enough. Let's smell it. Right up at the front, just like the other Goses I've had, you get that like sort of sea salt aroma first hitting you, brininess. And after that, I'm getting coriander, a bit of lemony flavor, or aroma that is. I wonder if it's got the lemony flavor too. Yes. Anyways, bit of bready malt, crackery malt sort of, and a little bit of the coriander. The aromas on this are a lot more muted than I remember the Ritterguts being recently. But you know what? I'm ready to dive into this bad boy. I've worked up a thirst once again, and I'm diving in, guys. Cheers or Prost, whichever you prefer. Yep. It's got a way more lemony taste than the Ritterguts did. Right off the bat up front, it's a little bit bigger. Then the brininess on this beer is a little bit bigger also. Maybe it's a lighter malt bill that they use. There seems to be a little bit less balance in this one. It's got a thinner body than I've had on some Goses, though none of them are heavy. Very drinkable, very mellow carbonation. No alcohol taste in the aroma, alcohol taste or alcohol in the aroma. I'm thinking like ahead of myself or something today, guys. I must need more beer. Let's get another taste. This, like the other Goses I've had, remind me of drinking a margarita almost, because it's got that like lemony tartness that's at the sides of your tongue, or that yogurt tartness from the lactobacillus and the partial sour mash. And then it's got that saltiness, so that's why I say it reminds me of drinking a margarita or beer that you put salt around the rim and put a little bit of lime in there as well and you drink it. It's got a lot of that to it. And for that reason, I really enjoy Goses. They're very refreshing. You know, when you drink a margarita, you say that's really refreshing. And a lot of folks who like their Corona and things like that with a lime slammed into it, they find that really refreshing too, because that sort of tart, lemony, limey like characteristic goes well, you know, with beer and saltiness and brininess, I think, all at the same time. And I think that lemony sort of flavor is created by a mix of the hops and the coriander and salt. That's what's creating that kind of like margarita-like effect to me, anyway. Super easy drinking. You could drain this top to bottom in a flash with no problem. Real tasty brew. And you know what? I think I might actually pick up another can of this. I like this. I wasn't ready to dive in for a 6-pack at, you know, $10.99 or $9.99, whatever it was, but I would pick up another one of these. That's a really tasty brew. So, what do we grade a beer like this? You're hearing me saying I'd buy another one, but how well am I going to grade it? Rate Beer gives it a 91, A-. I can see folks doing that. Beer Advocate gives it an 86, a real high B+. I'm going to give this one a B+. I'm going to give it an 88. It's a good Gose. It's not as good as some that I've had. It lacks a little bit of that like oomph from the malt, you know, that they put in there, and it's just missing something. Like that little twist of sweetness that some of them that I've had that create that balance along with the tartness from the lactobacillus and all that stuff in there, man. But very highly drinkable, and I would buy it again. It's not a mind blower, but no Goses are really like mind blowers. You know, there's some that are better than others, but I would recommend this beer if you want something like it's a unique experience and you like that margarita thing going on. So, to the next DJs BrewTube, thanks a million to each and every one of you for watching. Remember to rate, comment, subscribe, and hit that like button. And also remember to think globally, drink locally, and support the craft beer movement so this thing can keep growing. We can have more Goses to try, and life will be happy. And peace and harmony will come to the universe through beer. Well, that was a little dramatic, wasn't it? Anyways, to the next DJs BrewTube, I got nothing but a bunch of love for you and a big ass a peace out.